Libra darling, the billionaire frequency is activating inside your energetic home and you didn't arrive here by accident. If you've felt a strange pull lately, like something is shifting beneath the surface, something big aligning just beyond the veil, this is it. This isn't just another reading. This is your divine moment. This week, from December 11th through the 18th, the universe is not just whispering your name. It is opening the floodgates. Now let me ask you something. What if wealth wasn't something you had to chase anymore? What if abundance was already looking for you quietly but powerfully and you simply had to say yes to receive it? This is your time. This is a deep spiritual forecast created just for you, Libra. And it's not meant to entertain. It's meant to awaken. Because the truth is, you've already done the work in silence. You've shown up when no one clapped. You've chosen forgiveness over revenge, love over indifference, faith over fear. And the energy of that is now coming back to find you not as luck, but as return. As holy rebalancing. In today's reading, I'm going to guide you through a rare cosmic alignment that is unfolding right now, a harmony between Venus, your ruling planet, expansive Jupiter, and revolutionary Uranus. This is not just celestial poetry, this is astrological action. These planets are opening up what I call a divine financial gateway. One that directly touches the 2nd and 8th houses in your chart, the realms of self-worth, resources, shared wealth, and spiritual legacy. And to go deeper, we'll also read into the sacred symbols of your current energetic field, the Empress, the Star, and the 10 of Pentacles. These aren't just cards. They are blueprints. The Empress invites you to finally receive without guilt. The Star revives the dreams you thought had passed. And the 10 of Pentacles anchors it all in legacy, not just wealth, but lasting value that feeds generations. So Libra, I invite you now to pause and ask yourself, could this be the moment everything starts to align? Could this be the reason your soul brought you here today? And if your heart whispers yes, or even maybe, go ahead and leave a comment below with the number 888. That number isn't random. It's a sacred signal, a way of saying to the universe, I'm ready. I'm available. I am a match for what is mine. Let me also take this moment to thank you for your presence here. Every like, every comment, every subscription brings you deeper into the sacred space we've created at Zodiac Whisper Tarot. Your support is not just appreciated. It's cherished. You are the reason these messages are born, and your energy is the reason they continue to flow. So please, stay with me all the way through today's reading, because what the universe is revealing for you, Libra, is stunning. It's beautiful. It's real. And it may just change the way you see yourself, your worth, and your purpose forever. Now tell me, Libra, what did you do to call this message into your life today? I have a feeling you already know. Let's begin. When the stars align in such rare precision as they are this week, it is not to impress us, it is to prepare us. And Libra, this preparation isn't something you must force or control. It's something you allow. Between December 11th and 18th, an extraordinary trine is forming between Venus, your ruling planet, Jupiter, the planet of expansion and higher blessing, and Uranus, the agent of divine disruption. This isn't a random shift. It's a sacred code in the language of astrology, signaling that the gates of abundance are swinging open, not through chaos, but through elegant, unexpected precision. The cosmos is whispering your name, and you, Libra, are being ushered into an energetic space where your values, your worth, and your legacy begin to take root in tangible ways. This is more than financial. It's personal. When Venus harmonizes with Jupiter and Uranus, the message is clear. What you've quietly longed for is now being activated, and it will come not through hustle, but through alignment. These planetary movements affect two very specific houses in your chart, the 2nd and the 8th. The 2nd house governs personal resources, your talents, your ability to feel grounded and safe. The 8th house deals with shared power, soul bonds, inheritances, both material and emotional. When energy flows between these houses, something transformational begins. You start to understand that prosperity is not just a number in your account. It's a frequency you embody when you remember who you are. Many of you may be feeling subtle shifts already. A nudge to reassess what you're worth. A push to no longer settle. Perhaps you've noticed that certain relationships are crumbling, jobs are losing meaning, or your body is more sensitive to what you once ignored. These are not signs of instability, they are signs of energetic realignment. You're not being pushed off course. You're being asked to align with your truest path. And that means letting go of old identities that were built on scarcity, silence, or survival. The law of attraction is not about thinking positively all day. It's about aligning your frequency with the outcome you already know belongs to you. And this week, Libra, your frequency is being recalibrated to match a timeline of overflow. Not because you begged for it, but because you became available to it. When you stop chasing and start embodying, your energy becomes magnetic. The universe doesn't need you to run after it. It simply needs your vibration to say, I am ready. This truth echoes something deeper I've witnessed through both spiritual wisdom and real-life miracles. When people surrender the need to earn every good thing and instead step into trust, astonishing things unfold. I've seen moments where a single decision to trust instead of fear brought a new job offer, a resolved illness, or a reunion with someone long thought lost. These are not fantasies. They are what happens when energy, belief, and timing unite. So this week, I gently encourage you to live like your breakthrough is already here. Speak as if you've already received it. Make decisions as if you trust what's coming next. And if you need a quiet anchor for your spirit, create a small ritual of stillness. Light a candle. Write down 3 things you're ready to receive. Place them somewhere sacred. And then release the need to control how they arrive. This is not superstition. This is sacred participation in your own timeline. Remember, the stars don't control you, they reveal you. And right now, they're revealing a version of you who is ready to rise. When a tarot reading opens with the Empress, you're being reminded not just of potential, but of permission, divine permission to receive. Libra, this card doesn't arrive to suggest that abundance may be near. It arrives as confirmation that it's already knocking. You've already sown the seeds through your patience, your kindness, your restraint in the face of chaos. The Empress is the fertile ground that responds not to force, but to softness. She speaks of the energy of nurturing, of knowing your worth so deeply that you no longer ask the world to validate it. And perhaps for you, this week is less about doing and more about allowing. That can be the hardest thing of all, especially for those who've had to fight to be seen. But right now, the universe is not asking you to try harder. It's asking you to soften enough to let the blessing land. The star enters next as a gentle yet powerful reminder. The dreams you shelved, the prayers you whispered into pillows at midnight, the visions you were once too scared to speak aloud, they are not forgotten. In fact, they've been germinating beneath the surface, in sacred timing. This card is a symbol of divine renewal. It doesn't promise instant results, but it assures you that the light is returning. Even if you've walked through years of emotional drought, even if you've learned to expect less just to avoid disappointment, the star is here to say, there's water beneath your feet again. Now is the time to hope, not because you're desperate, but because you're aligned. This is the kind of energy that brings back clarity, where your soul starts to recognize the sound of your own truth again. And then there's the Ten of Pentacles, the arrival point of tangible, generational abundance. But don't mistake this card as merely financial. It speaks of legacy, of spiritual inheritance, of building something that will outlive you. This card often shows up when you've been working towards something for so long that you forgot what it felt like to receive. But this is your moment to reclaim it. The work you've done in secret, the wisdom you've carried quietly, the way you've chosen integrity when no one was watching, it's all echoing now in the energetic realm. And the vibration of that effort is finally matching the vibration of return. You are no longer vibrating with survival. You are now aligned with sustainability, with stability, with sacred stewardship. What's powerful about this trio of cards, the Empress, the Star, and the Ten of Pentacles, is that they don't just tell a story. They map a spiritual blueprint. The Empress invites you to open. The Star helps you believe again. And the Ten of Pentacles helps you anchor that belief into something real. This is a sequence of healing, faith, and materialization. And when you combine it with the astrological alignments we explored earlier, especially the Venus-Jupiter-Uranus trine, it becomes clear why this week is more than ordinary. You're being offered a chance not just to witness transformation, but to embody it. In real life, the people who begin to flourish are not always those who work the hardest, but those who learn to hold space for good things without guilt. There's something holy in letting yourself receive. In one conversation I once had with a woman who had spent years in emotional survival mode, she told me the most difficult part of healing wasn't the pain, it was the joy. She had to relearn how to feel safe letting good things stay. So if this is you, Libra, I encourage you gently, make peace with the possibility that you deserve this. You don't need to apologize for your timing. You're not behind. You're exactly where you need to be. And just as the earth receives the rain without questioning if it's worthy, you too are being invited to receive what has always been yours. This is the quiet courage of faith in action, not a loud declaration, but a calm readiness. The universe is responding now, not to your need, but to your resonance. Let that be your power. There's something beautifully quiet about the way life gives back when you're no longer trying to prove yourself worthy of the return. You may not see it coming, the unexpected message, the offer you never asked for, the door that opens not because you knocked, but because you were simply ready to walk through. These moments aren't loud. They don't arrive with fanfare or flashing lights. They often feel like subtle echoes of kindness you once gave freely, or silent confirmations of prayers you whispered long ago. But Libra, make no mistake this week, these quiet gifts are not accidents. They are sacred realignments. What's unfolding is not a reward for good behavior. It's a divine rebalancing of energy. A holy correction. A return to rightness. When we talk about abundance in spiritual terms, it's easy to imagine it as something distant or ethereal. But in truth, abundance often shows up in the most ordinary ways. A refund you didn't expect. A friend offering help without you asking. A chance meeting that turns into an opportunity. And when these things happen, it's important not to downplay them. These are signs. These are signals that your inner frequency is finally matching the vibration of what you've long carried within: hope, integrity, intention. There's a principle I've seen unfold over and over in both energy work and everyday human stories. When you plant something with love and release it without attachment, the harvest will find its way back to you. Not always in the way you imagined, but often in the exact form your soul needed. I once knew a woman who, during her lowest financial season, quietly helped a neighbor pay rent. Years later, long after she had forgotten the gesture, she received a sudden opportunity through someone completely unrelated, a door that led to more stability than she had ever known. She didn't earn it in a linear way. She aligned with it through integrity and timing. That's how the rebalancing works. What's important this week is that you don't resist the ease that may be trying to enter your life. If you've been conditioned to believe that everything valuable must come through struggle, this will feel strange at first. But not everything you receive has to come with a price. Sometimes, the price was paid in the past through your resilience, your honesty, your decision to stay kind when bitterness would have been easier. Let that count. Let that be enough. Energetically, when we hold on too tightly to outcomes, relationships, stories, identities, we create friction. And friction slows the flow. But when we release the need to control, when we forgive what we cannot change, when we stop comparing our path to someone else's, the energy begins to move. Forgiveness is not a spiritual luxury. It's an energetic necessity. It's the act of clearing space for peace to live in your body. And when peace has room, prosperity follows. I gently encourage you to do something small but meaningful this week. Write down a few things you are ready to receive, and then tuck that note somewhere sacred. You don't need to check it every day or micromanage the outcome. Just let it be a quiet agreement between you and life. A silent contract of faith. And when good things begin to arrive in whatever form they take, don't question whether you deserve them. Instead, breathe them in with gratitude, and know this: you are not being given charity. You are receiving a mirror of who you've become. This is your real work now: to stop shrinking when blessings appear. To let them land fully. To trust that you are not just open, but equipped to hold what is returning. Sometimes the most powerful change begins not with a grand gesture, but with a quiet decision to say, "I'm ready now." Libra, you've been aligning your energy for months, maybe even years, whether you realized it or not. You've been shedding old beliefs about worth, untangling from identities rooted in scarcity, and stepping into a deeper knowing that you were made for more, not out of ego, but out of alignment. This part of the journey isn't about waiting for miracles to happen. It's about consciously becoming the place where miracles land. That's what activating the billionaire frequency truly means. It's not about striving or chasing. It's about vibrating in resonance with the abundance that's already trying to reach you. One of the most grounded ways to do this is through intention setting. Not the kind that comes from desperation or wishful thinking, but the kind that rises from a calm, embodied place of truth. When you sit down and write out 3 things you're truly ready to receive, not things you're merely hoping for, but things your spirit knows it's prepared to hold. You're creating a bridge between your energetic readiness and physical reality. Place those intentions somewhere sacred. This could be near a lit candle, under your pillow, inside your wallet, or even sealed in a small glass jar. What matters isn't where they sit, but how they're held. Let the space itself become an amplifier of your readiness. This act isn't superstition. It's signal work, a vibrational conversation between you and the universe. Start each morning this week with a gentle affirmation: I do not chase wealth. I am the source that generates it. Say it out loud or whisper it if you prefer, but feel it in your body. Speak not to convince yourself, but to anchor yourself in the reality you are now stepping into. Let these words become a frequency that hums beneath your thoughts all day, especially when doubt or old programming tries to speak louder. Your energy is sacred, Libra. And it needs care, not just emotionally, but physically. High-frequency living requires high-frequency fuel. Notice how your body responds when you choose foods that honor clarity rather than comfort. Nourish yourself with warm herbal teas like chamomile or lemon balm. Incorporate whole grains that stabilize energy instead of spiking it. Supplement with gentle support like magnesium or B12 to fortify your system, not out of fear, but out of love. And move. Even 10 minutes of quiet stretching or guided meditation can reset your nervous system and realign your field. This isn't about rigid routines. It's about rhythm. Let your body become the temple that holds the new wealth of your life, not just money, but calm, clarity, and capacity. Color is energy too. This week, surround yourself with soft vibrational tones that mirror your internal expansion. Soft jade green for financial alignment, blush pink for emotional harmony, and pale gold for divine confidence. Whether it's a candle, a piece of fabric, a ring, or simply a screensaver, let your eyes land on color that reminds your energy where it's going. And finally, Libra, remember this: action is powerful when it flows from peace, not pressure. Don't rush your becoming. Trust the frequency you're emitting now is already calling back the people, resources, and opportunities you're meant to meet. You don't have to prove anything. You just have to keep showing up soft, certain, and open. This is your invitation to participate in your abundance, not just pray for it. Welcome it in as if it's already yours. Because energetically, it is. It may be tempting to call what's happening in your life this week luck, to brush it off as coincidence, timing, or something fleeting. But Libra, the truth is far deeper than chance. What's unfolding now is not about fortune. It's about frequency. You are not simply lucky. You are finally aligned. You've done the work not just in what others can see, but in the quiet corners of your soul, where you've chosen healing over hardness, forgiveness over bitterness, and love when indifference would have been easier. This season isn't rewarding you. It's recognizing you. The idea that the universe is waiting for you to match its vibration isn't abstract, it's energetic law. When your internal state begins to harmonize with the frequency of what you desire, peace, stability, abundance, your external reality begins to shift to reflect it. That's why the shifts showing up this week may feel sudden, but they're not random. You've slowly tuned your energy to something higher, and now life is catching up to that signal. You've survived things that were meant to dim you. And yet, you softened instead of shutting down. That's strength. That's alignment. The act of letting go of the need to control, to be perfect, To hold everything together is not weakness. It's an energetic doorway. In self-help work, we often speak about emotional intelligence as a tool for manifestation. Why? Because clarity, emotional honesty, and the ability to return to trust again and again are the foundations of sustainable growth. And Libra, your evolution has brought you right to that edge. The edge where what you feel and what you're ready for are finally the same thing. Numerology this week also adds another layer of meaning. The presence of the number 8 vibrates with the energy of wealth, power, and rebirth. It's not just about financial gain, but about reclaiming your personal authority in your decisions, your energy, and your future. The number 6 brings in themes of family, harmony, and healing, reminding you that what you create now doesn't just benefit you, it ripples into your relationships, your legacy, and even the people whose lives you touch indirectly. And finally, 11, the master number of intuition, illumination, and divine timing. When 11 shows up, it's a sign that your inner wisdom is awakening to a new level of leadership. You are no longer just navigating your life. You are now shaping it with intention, with clarity, and with quiet courage. When I think of people who've experienced transformation that felt miraculous, it's never because they were chosen in a way that others weren't. It's because they were willing to say yes when the moment came. They didn't delay when opportunity knocked. They didn't downplay their readiness. They didn't defer their worth. They claimed it, sometimes with trembling hands, but they claimed it anyway. That's what this week is asking of you. Not to force anything. Not to chase. But to recognize the signs of arrival and to step forward with openness. So if you've been asking for a signal, Libra, this is it. You're not waiting for abundance anymore. You become the kind of person it naturally finds. There's a sacred power in understanding that you are no longer on the outside of your desires. You are standing at the center of them. And as long as you keep showing up in truth, in grace, and in alignment with your core values, you will continue to unlock what was always meant for you. Don't shrink now. Don't explain away the blessings. Don't apologize for the ease that begins to replace the struggle. This is not a glitch. It's a breakthrough. It's not luck. It's arrival. You're not just ready, you've been ready. The gates didn't open to test you. They opened because they finally recognized your name. Libra, if you've made it here to the end, I want you to take a breath, a real, grounding breath, and allow yourself to absorb this truth. Abundance is not something that arrives from the outside. It begins in the quiet, unseen choices you make from within. It lives not in the numbers on a screen, but in the way you speak to yourself when no one is listening, in the way you hold your worth, even when the world hasn't fully caught up. What you've been calling in, what you've been silently preparing for, is already in motion, not because you tried harder, but because you chose to become a match for what you truly desire. Throughout this reading, we've explored the cosmic alignments, the tarot symbols, the shifts in energy, and the soul-deep practices that help you tune into the billionaire frequency. But none of that matters without one final key: your choice. Your conscious decision to receive. Your willingness to say, yes, I believe this can be mine. The universe is not holding your blessings hostage. It's waiting for your permission. Waiting for you to open your hands and say, I'm ready to hold this. And you are. You are more ready than you've ever been. So now I gently ask you, What would change if you stopped waiting for external validation and instead gave yourself permission to step fully into this next level of your life? What if the doorway to abundance was already open, and all that remained was your courage to walk through it? What are you willing to claim, not someday, not in theory, but today? If something in this message has resonated with you, if you feel that soft spark of recognition in your chest, I invite you to anchor it now. Go ahead and comment the number 888 below. That is not just a number. It's a declaration. It's how you say, I am not just watching, I am aligned. It's your sacred yes. And your yes matters. And if this video gave you clarity, hope, or the sense that you are not alone on this path, please don't leave without giving back the energy. Like this video, subscribe to Zodiac Whisper Tarot, and share this message with someone you care about. Every interaction not only supports the channel, it helps expand this sacred space we're building together, one grounded in intuition, wisdom, and true energetic wealth. Libra, may this week bring you peace that feels like exhaling. May it bring you clarity where there was once confusion. May it remind you that balance is not a weakness, it's your superpower. That your grace is not passive, it is magnetic. That your kindness is not naive, it is courageous. May you walk forward knowing that the door has already opened, and the only permission you need is your own. Thank you for being here. For listening. For showing up for yourself in a world that so often asks you to play small. Your presence is not taken for granted. And I hope you'll return again next week, where more guidance, healing, and alignment await you. Until then, may you walk in beauty, in power, and in balance. Your prosperity has never been far, it's been within you all along.